Hello, hello, teacher Samuel. I'm good. How about you?
I'm okay. I'm right here in Orlando.
Orlando,
Orlando.
Yes,
America.
that's
Yes.
it. It's amazing city, really nice place to live.
My cousin, not my cousin, the cousin of my mother sent a picture of
Ruben,
New York City.
speak near to your phone, please.
Yes, sorry. So, the cousin of my mother was sending a picture of New York City in the park, and there are many people who was gymnastic. That's New York City. It's very near to Orlando or not? I think it's very far away.
Which city?
New York.
Oh, New
Is it?
York.
It's not right.
No,
It's
Orlando
another
is in
state.
Florida. Yeah. No, yes, Orlando is in Florida, South United States of America, and New
Mm,
York in the north, right?
you
So
see,
it's a huge distance. Like
far away,
far
long
away, yeah.
ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't mind me.
But I have been to New York already, and it's an amazing city also.
Adriana, who was with us in one of our previous live meetings, she was living in New York, but now she just moved to Florida as well. She told me yesterday she moved to Florida. Well, but now we're here. Samuel, thank you so much for coming. I don't know
My
where my
pleasure.
students are. Maybe they're gonna come join us later or not. But anyways, we are here. Ruben is here, and you are here. So let's do this the best way we can. We are recording to the platform, and we are also live on YouTube. So guys, say hello to
Great.
YouTube.
YouTube.
Hello, guys.
Great. So um just to tell you that already or that still don't know what Clube Parceiro de Conversação is about, Clube Parceiro de Conversação is a community I created to give my students the opportunity to use English in real situation, real life situation, to meet new people, other Brazilians who speak English as Samuel here, and also foreigners as Ruben here, also natives, because for each meeting, I invite someone new to be here exchanging with us. Okay, now it's Samuel, and I'll give you, Samuel, the word for you to introduce yourself, talk a little bit about you, about your career, about what you do, whatever you want. Feel free.
All right. Well, I think that English is in my life since I was 13 years old, and I'm almost 60 now. I started studying by myself because at that time, a long time ago, there weren't the internet or cell phone or anything. You have to go to the libraries to learn English, and you have to be very focused because you had only books to learn. It was difficult in my city to actually there weren't any English school in my city at that time. So back to 1979, yeah, that's right, or 73, 76, 1976. I was 13, so I got interested in English for the first time. Since the first time I listened the first word in English, like someone else said, "Do you speak English?" I didn't know anything about English at that time, and then I told to myself, I said to myself, "What's that? What did he say? I didn't understand that." And then my oldest brother said, "It's English," and I said, "My gosh, that's what I want to meet. That's what I want to learn. I want to learn languages." And then I started studying by myself. Later, when I got a job, I could afford for an English school, English course in Joinville, Santa Catarina, where I lived. Um, it was the first English school in the city. It was named Yazigi. I don't know if you remember that.
What? I don't think I know
Yazigi.
about it. Oh, this
Yazigi.
is an English school.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then I went to Fisk. I'll let you know. Before that, I used it to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning just to listen to Dr. Fisk, the founder of the school. He used it to teach people on TV every day on 5 in the morning, at 5 in the morning.
Wow.
And then I used it to wake up every day at this time just to listen to Mr. Fisk. So that demonstrated that I was really interested, and that was what I wanted for my life. I really love my country, but I swear you, I feel as if I were at home when I am here in the United States. I feel completely free. I feel happy. I feel I'm at home. Right.
How many times have you been to the United States?
7 or 8 times. I'm not sure about that. Cool. I've been to Washington, New York, Orlando 3 times, Detroit, San Francisco. So those moments in my life are the best moments of my life because I don't know, I feel very happy, extremely satisfied when I'm speaking with native speakers, and they understand and I can understand them very well. So it's like a dream coming true, you know. And then I graduated from college, from the university in English language and literature. And then I went to San Francisco to get a new course on English for teachers. And then I went to Australia, a new course for English teacher again. Well, I traveled a lot. I went to Berlin, I went to Moscow, I went to a lot of countries. And it's been the best thing of my life. When I travel, I feel very nice. I feel good. And as I told you, I love Brazil, but I don't like the way we live there. I don't like Brazilian music. I don't like anything like related to me, to Brazilian culture. I know it must, I must be wrong about that, or it must looks like I don't know, suburb, you know. That's not the thing. The thing is what I feel. I like the country. I'd like my country to be first world country, something like this. It's not. And then when I come to the United States, I feel completely different. I feel I belong to this country. That's the idea. You know?
And knowing the language is something that makes all the difference for you to feel like that, right?
That's right. That's right. Because I can immerse in the American culture. I know what they feel, how they live, what they want, what they eat. So it's kind of the only thing. Actually, I have to say something. The only thing I don't like here is the food.
Is
the
what?
food is not good. The
oh
food.
yeah, we are Brazilian. We have the best food in the world.
We are used to beans and rice and beef and those kind of things, and here they only eat sandwich, hamburgers, French fries, what else, pizza. So you have to buy those things. You have to heat on the microwave and eat it. They don't have it ready to eat, you know.
Yes.
And the toppings, the sausage, the sauce they put on the food is, you know, completely strong. It damages your stomach. You have to buy pills here. But after a week, you get used to their food, and you are like an American eating those kind of things. I am
Yeah,
now
well,
eating.
something before you go on somewhere, let me just highlight something about what you said that I find very interesting for students to pay attention. Not just one thing, two things. First thing is the context in which you learned English. It took it, or it took too much more to learn English back then when you learned than it takes today. It's much more easier to learn English nowadays because you have the whole world in your hands. If you want to emerge in English language, you can do that without even leaving your country. That is something very rich and important for the students to understand. And the other thing you said that I want to highlight, because it's about the feeling you have when you are able to communicate wherever you go and feel like you belong. I think when students, most of people, when they come to talk to us, I want to learn English for some reason. I don't think they fully understand the feeling of being able to get there. You know they want, they have some reasons why, but they don't fully understand what it means to be able to communicate wherever you go. I remember how I felt, and look, I haven't ever been abroad, but I can remember the feeling I had when I realized I were able to listen and understand when I was watching my favorite series. First time I realized that I was in that path to develop fluency, to develop communication, understanding. And one day, like out of nowhere, I was laid down on my bed watching my favorite series, and I just realized I could understand everything. And I was like, oh, the feeling I can't describe. And it's similar to this one you described it now. And I found it very important to highlight that to students because it may be hard to learn. Of course, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes investment. But when you get there, when you get to that feeling, it's worth all the path you go through, right?
Yeah, when you say that you got satisfied when you realize that you were understanding what series or movies were, or what people were saying in the movies, that's very nice. But I can assure you that you are going only to have the real sensation that you can really speak and understand English when you come to United States or Canada or England, whatever, and you start communicating with people, then you say to yourself, now I'm sure I can speak English. Even though you already know you can because you understand the people, you understand the movies and the videos, but the feeling of listening and understanding a native speaker is wonderful. Is something
Yes.
that makes you feel. I'm talking about me. I don't
Mhm.
know what other people feel, but what I felt the first time I talked to an American, I said, my God, I really speak English. I know what they are saying. And that was the best moment of my life, you know? So, but I would like to say what you said a few minutes ago, a couple of minutes ago, that people really don't know what speaking another language means. They really don't know. They don't know how deep it is, what the difference it makes in your life, and what you think. You know, you
Yes.
are right. When they
Mhm.
are learning English, maybe they are not completely aware of how important it is to know another language.
Yes. Well, Ruben, anytime you want to say something, feel free, okay?
I just want to comment. I just want to comment out that knowing that you're knowing this very well means that you feeling of what's really said and what Samuel said. It's like an eagle in a wild mountain, very high, and sees the the mountains from the high. That's the feeling, right?
That's right. That's right.
Right. Yes.
That's the
And
sensation.
about the talking to a native thing, Samuel commented. That's also something important. And it's also a taboo. I know it is because a lot of students are terrified to be in front of a native or to talk to someone from another country. That is one of the reasons why I created this club, so that my students would be able to communicate with other people and not feel afraid, feel scared when they were out there in the world and they had someone in front of them to talk, so that they would not block and just cannot communicate. And they do that awesomely. Awesomely, is that his word? Anyways, Ruben was here, I think, almost in all the meetings we had, and he could see one when I invited Trevor, who is a Native American, and everybody was, I don't mean Ruben because he has already traveled abroad for other countries, but my students, I can talk for my students, they were like, they were excited, they were nervous, and they were thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna talk to a native. And then when we got here and we were communicating, they saw that it's just, that's someone that is there. And most of time, people have English enough to communicate with them, but they are just too much afraid to even try.
Yeah. Where are you from, Ruben, by the way?
I am very far away from another ocean. I am from Greece,
Greece.
very far away.
Nice. There is a Greek restaurant across from the hotel where I am.
Not only one, but many,
Yeah,
I
but
guess.
there is one just across from the hotel I'm staying right now. Um, Swedley, you said about, for example, I have been a teacher for a long time, right? So some students used to say, teacher, I can understand you. Of course I can. But when they see a native speaker on TV or on video, I can't understand a word of what they are saying. And I said, you have to practice your listening, right? Because you have to listen and repeat, listen all the time until you understand, until you are sure you understood everything she said or he said on the video. And if you don't understand, don't stop trying. Keep trying all the time until you have completely understood everything he or she said. Other thing that Swedi said is some people who learn and speak English in Brazil, when they come to the United States, they avoid American people. When they are crossing, when they are bumping into an American, they cross the street just not to talk to American people because they are shy. So what do you need? You need courage. You have to face it. You have to say, sorry, I didn't understand what you say. Could you repeat, please? And they will repeat for you, right? Because let me give you an example. There are a lot of people here who are from a lot of countries. They work as janitors or housekeepers. They work in a hotel. They work as a salesperson and outlet and Latin people and all around the world. And when we speak English and they notice and they realize that you are Latin American, they start speaking Spanish with you, right? So I use a lot of my Spanish here. And I don't like that because I want here to speak English, right? But sometimes people do not understand and they say they don't understand and they prefer that you speak Spanish with them. And if you are here in the United States, if you speak Portuguese or Greek and English and Spanish, it's you have a great chance of be successful here, right?
Especially
Because
Florida, right? Especially
especially
Florida. There are a
Florida,
lot of natives and people from other countries
there
in
are
Florida.
there are a lot of Brazilians here, so and Latin American people from several countries in South America, Central America,
Yeah.
Mexico. So it's like yesterday I was talking to a girl in the outlets and she said, if you speak English only, you have a salary. If you speak English and Spanish, your salary increase. And if you speak English, Spanish, and Portuguese, you are going to earn a lot of money here. Right?
Opportunities for those who are prepared. There is
Yeah,
something people say they wanna I tell this to people. They wanna have opportunities and then to prepare themselves. And I tell them, be prepared. Be prepared, and when the opportunity comes, then you're ready to just get it,
yes,
to
that's
just
right. That's right. There isn't luck. Luck doesn't exist. Luck is when the opportunity meets the preparation. You know,
look.
that's the idea. So, oh, I have
That's
the
it.
opportunity to go to the United States, but I don't speak English. So, you are a bad luck man? No, you are not prepared.
You're not just prepared.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, so I know I invited the right person to talk about the topic I choose for today, which is education. So, Samuel, I'm gonna share my screen now, and we we're gonna talk about education in a general way. It's not something to be afraid of. It's just a topic. Here, here we go. Well, before we start talking about education, I just want to invite you all to follow Teacher Samuel on Instagram. His Instagram is here, Eagle Aguiar Samuel. And then you'll see everything he's been posting there. And if you want to talk to him, you can DM him, right, Samuel?
Yes, that's right. Thank you.
Okay. Well, we're gonna start by what we already know, or we'll see if we know. I have here some questions for us to discuss with our previous knowledge. And then I brought a text for us to read together, and then some more questions to get it personal, okay? Starting then, first question for you guys. What do you understand by education? What would you say first, Ruben? Then I'll give the word to Samuel.
Before I answer that question, I would like to comment out about what you said in a few minutes ago about the students are scared of it. I would like to recommend to watch the movie The Wizard of Oz, because in The Wizard of Oz there was a lion, there was I don't know, there was four people who are seeking to find the heart, mind, so or something I don't remember, and they are trying to find the Wizard of Oz to give him. But the Wizard of Oz is just the people, it's fake. So don't be afraid to speak English. I don't know if that example I said it's you understand it, but I said that Wizard of Oz in our mind is uh, someone with powerful, but it's just a simple man. That's all. You don't have to be afraid. I
Or
think you don't understand.
go where, even though you are afraid. Right? Sometimes we cannot control if we feel scared or not, but we can choose to do whatever we are intending to, even though we are feeling afraid or insecure. What do you think about that, Samuel, as we're discussing this?
Education. Well, I think there are two kinds of education. The one you got from your parents at home, right? Which is very important that you uh, construct, build your character and what you're going to be in life. And there is the education that you get at schools, which is important as well. And well, first of all, I think that our country is a little bit, we don't have a good education system. It's an old system. It doesn't work anymore, right? We are in a different era now, right? So in a different age, in a different moment of the world. So our education system in university doesn't work anymore. We need innovate. We need a new system. Like I have searched and I have studied the Finland education system, which is very good. They prepare students for life, for the job, for their profession, not only as we do here in Brazil, math, science, history. Okay, those subjects are important, but they are not going to prepare you for your life. So education for me is just like this. The knowledge you come from your parents and you need to take for your life, for your entire life, for your whole life, as character, as politeness, as uh, friendship, as a lot of things, values that you have to get to your life forever. And other kind of education is uh, that comes from the schools, right? And the second one, I mean, we have no a good education in school. But if you really want to study, if you really want to learn things, it's up to you. Never mind if you don't have a good education system. Never mind if you don't have a good teacher. Go for it. Try another school. Try another teacher. Try books. Try videos. Try internet that we have now, as Sweetie told a few minutes ago. So you have the chance now to make your own education if you're not satisfied with what you have been learning at school. That's what I mean. Life asks you courage. All the rest life gives to you.
Okay, very good. So, education, as Samuel said, there are different types of education. You have the informal education you get home, you get from the internet, from people you know, from the elderly people who have things to share with you and they love sharing. Listen to the elderly you have around because they like to talk and they have a lot of experience to share with you. And also there is the formal education, which you get from school, from college, from university. Okay, formal education. And what I put this question here because I see sometimes people relating education to behavior, like, but let's talk about that a little further. Let's go to the next question then. Ruben, do you have something you want to add before we go to the next question?
Didn't understand about the question of what do you understand about education. In short, about my opinion of education, what's the meaning of education? It's the method of learning. Someone tries to have the best method to learn to other people. That's all my about my education.
Yes, we can summarize education as that, learning, because when it comes to informal education, you're learning from the environment and society. When it comes to formal education, you're learning from the educational system. We can summarize like that. Uh,
That's right.
sorry, Samuel?
No, that's right. I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, so moving then to the next question, how is education related to society's well-being? What do you think about that? What's your opinion? How do you see education is related to to society's well-being?
Well, it has everything to do with society well-being, right? If a country has educated, polite citizens, how the community will be like this. We will have a happy community. Probably the the average of crimes and fightings and those kind of things will decrease a lot. Sorry, everybody will be happy, and the whole country or the whole community will live well. They can talk to each other. They can travel. They can take a walk. They can do everything without be scared of any kind of violence. And if you have all people educated, polite, you probably will have a nice life, and your country or city will be happy as well.
It's a good point. What do you think, Ruben?
It's very related to education, the society, because it's about the profession. Each profession needs to be learned. For example, if someone is a teacher, need to educate to learn about teaching methods. If someone is scientist, needs to educate it about science. That's all.
I
Yeah,
would like to add. I would like to add something to that. Let me ask you: do you know what's the most spoken word here in United States?
the most spoken.
Word. Can you guess?
I.
I guess. I guess.
No, it's sorry.
Sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
there is
So
a meme. Have you seen
yeah,
that meme? There is a meme. My dream is going to New York to run into people and say sorry.
yeah.
Have
I
you
have.
seen?
Yes, they are so polite. They say sorry for anything. So they are educated people. That's what we've been talking about, right? Education is everything. So they say sorry for everything. If you bump into them or not, if you just go through them, if you just uh, I don't know, make something that they say sorry, sorry, excuse me, sorry, pardon, I beg your pardon, you know. So you feel important, and you feel that they really
Care.
care about you. They really care about the well-being of people, right? So some people say, oh, maybe the most spoken word is yes, I, or good morning. No, it's sorry. confuse me. So they are
Interesting.
really, really polite.
Interesting. Well, the text I brought brings something in other point of views related to education, but pretty much the idea we have when we talk about education, we see education as an important thing, as completely related to society's well-being, and it is. But there are also other effects, we could say, of education that we're going to discuss further. Now, I'm ready to move to the next question. Are you boys? Are you ready to move to the next question?
Yep.
Yes.
Great. The next question is, what's the difference between educated and polite? Is there a difference?
I think so. For example, I know a lot of people who have high degrees of education, formal education, but they are so rude, so gross. And on the other hand, I know a lot of people who didn't have the opportunity to go to school, but they are completely polite, they are kind, they are gentle, right? So for me, that's the difference. Education is what you get from school, and politeness is already in you since the beginning. Maybe you learn with your parents or not, but you don't need to go to school to be polite. You need to school to get education, formal education. At school, they won't give you politeness. They won't give you knowledge, right?
That's it.
Politeness is in you or you get from your parents or from your family, of the mind. Um, so that's the difference. There are people who are educated a lot. They have a lot of degrees, PhD, but they are rude. They are gross. There are people who hadn't have the opportunity to go to schools, but they are completely kind and gentle.
That's it. That is exactly it. And I wanted to bring this question here as we are live on YouTube. This video is going to be saved for people to watch later. And I decided to put that question there because I see a lot of students making this mistake. They say, for example, be educated, you know, talk well to someone. You're being uneducated. And it's actually not that. It's a false cognate for Portuguese language. I don't know if it's a false cognate when you think about when you think in Greek, Ruben, but for Portuguese, it's a cognate because we have when someone is polite in Portuguese, we say educado, and when this someone is impolite or rude, we say mal educado. Then I see a lot of students making this confusion between educated and polite. So that is exactly what Samuel said. Education, to be educated, it is related to the knowledge you have by studying or by searching around, but it's about the knowledge. And politeness is about the behavior. It's how you behave. If you're kind, if you're a good person, if you're, I don't know, good-hearted, you are polite. If you treat people well, you are polite. If you don't do, you're rude. And if you have been to college, you have studied at school and gathered knowledge, then you are an educated person.
Yeah,
Clear?
literate this person.
Did you know that, Ruben?
Not need to be educated. Even someone who is not educated can
Speaking
be the
near to the
best.
phone, please. It's hard to hear you.
Yes, sorry. Someone who is not educated can be the most best, uh, can be the best people, the best person in the world without
Exactly.
education.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like that. My mom, my mother-in-law, they don't have education, like they study it. My mother-in-law have never, I think she has been to school like for 2 years. You know, she studied until second grade. My mom, I think she went to fourth grade, till fourth grade, but they are very smart. They're kind, they're wise. They are smarter than me that I am graduated, post-graduated, and I study a lot. But they are much more smart
Life is
than
cool.
me.
Right. Do you consider yourself polite, Celine?
I am polite. I treat people well.
I try to do that, but sometimes I'm not because I am a little bit anxious. And sometimes I do something wrong and say something bad to people, and after a few minutes I say, "Oh my God, what I said to him," and I go in and I say, "I apologize, sorry."
Do you say you're sorry?
Yeah,
So, because nobody's perfect, you know, I am very patient. I hardly ever say mistreat people or don't treat people well. It's hardly ever.
I
Most of time
sometimes do
I'm
that.
smiling, I'm talking well to people, but if I do something they don't like, I say I'm sorry, and I am. I really am.
Yeah.
What about you, Ruben?
Uh,
Are you polite? Do you treat people well?
Someone said me that no, not someone, but I heard that people who are speaking with honesty and truth to someone directly, someone else will be considered as unpolite. You're
Yes.
unpolite because you're talking the truth. You're saying the truth. You're talking directly, and
Mhm.
that's most of the time is unvolute. But it's obviously polite to be honest and talk the truth instead of saying lies or insult someone.
Yes.
great opinion from you, Ruben. That's what's happening nowadays, right? When you are being sincere, when you are telling them the truth, they think, "Oh, you are so rude." And if you say lies, and they like it, right? That's what I don't understand. So if you allow me, I would like to ask Ruben, do you think that in general Greek people are polite?
I will answer you what you said before seconds ago that people like to saying lies. I I think yes, stay polite. Yes, yes, stay polite. That's the answer.
That's a
Great.
really great point you pointed, Ruben, because we are raised to not be very sincere and say exactly what we want. And then when we are adults, or we keep on saying yes for everything, even though we are not happy about that, or we learn how to um, how to put boundaries and say no when you want to, and also ask for what you want. Most of times we want things, and they're simple things, but we are, I don't know, we're afraid to say we want them. And when we learn that by asking, by telling people what we want, we are actually helping them. We we change our minds. That is something really interesting. I'm learning that because I was raised to be a yes ma'am, like to say yes for everything, and I lived most part of my life like that, saying yes even though I was not happy about that thing. And I'm learning that, and I'm really happy about that. And also I admire the way Ruben behaves, because it's a different culture. We Brazilian, we have this culture, like right, Samuel, this way of being more, I don't know. It's not that we are not sincere, but we tend to not be direct, right? We are not direct people.
Yeah, we tend to please people instead of telling them the truth.
Yes, and we are not direct. We go like, eu vou ver semana que vem, vamos conversando.
Yeah,
We'll keep in touch. Let's think about that, you know. But Ruben is really direct, and I love that. Sometimes he says something to me, and first time my Brazilian mind thinks, and then I understand, no, he's just saying what it is. And I'm like, wow, I want to be more like that.
So, as you said, what you said, Swelly, it's exactly what I wanted to say, but I didn't say.
You
It's
said,
that people. Uh, sorry, what?
no, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you said what you meant. We understood.
Yeah, really.
And I was saying that. Oh my God, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, people are used to afraid of talking and talking, afraid the truth, afraid that if someone knows the truth, speaking with truth is something painful. That's it.
Yes.
Just
Painful.
to
Sorry,
just to
Samuel, go.
just to illustrate that situation, I have a brother. I have actually 7 brothers, 8. Well, I missed the count, but a lot of brothers. And I said for one of them one thing that it was very grave, severe, and his behavior was not being good. And I said to him the truth, what I thought about his behavior, what people were saying about his behavior, and we didn't talk for 6 months because of that. Right? He didn't accept the truth.
Yeah,
And he
that is
said
something really serious.
he said I was crazy or something like this. But so that's what happened, you know. If you say the truth, you lose your friend. If you not say the truth, you are not being friends.
This is a cultural thing, and it's not cool, but we are a long way to overcome that. I see people nowadays tending to consider what's best for them, or instead of just saying yes to everyone just because it's a brother or a cousin, or even your parents. Of course, there are ways for you to say things. You don't, and it's very different to say what you want, to stand for what you believe, and to be rude, especially to a parent. I don't want Pedro be like that, for example. I am not like that. I don't want Pedro be like that, but I want to see him to stand for what he wants, for what he believes. And I want him to be able to do that in a wise way, in a smart way. Yeah. That's the tricky, and that is something we are far away to be really good at.
You probably have heard that American people are not polite, that they are rude, They are not glad. They have bad faces, or they don't talk to you. Well, they are polite, right? And their culture is different. Like if you ask an American, um, like this, oh, you are so rude. You don't talk hand to hand to your wife on the streets. You don't kiss outside in the streets. You don't kiss each other, even if you are married. You don't do that. You don't see that. You don't see demonstrations of care. You know, they just go side by side. They don't kiss. They don't hug. They don't walk hand by hand. And when you ask them, oh, you behave like this, we don't know how you have your kids. And they say, we go to the supermarket and buy them. Really? That's what happened.
Do you want to say something, Ruben?
Let me think what I wanted to say. Oh yeah, I would like to say to everyone, but to be yourself and not other people. Stop acting like other people. Be yourself. Don't be afraid to talk correctly. Don't be afraid. Love the honest. Don't love the acting. Love
Yeah,
the what. And
great.
I think people need to start a movement about what you said, Ruben, right? People need to start being themselves. People need to start telling the truth. People need to start living their own lives and not someone else's life just because they like a rich life or I don't know, you know. So from the moment you live your life, I'm sure you're gonna be happy. Well, never mind what conditions you have, if you're rich or poor. Be yourself. That's the most important thing in life. And I have some experience about not being myself for a long time, and I surrender. I'm very, you know, I regret a lot about that.
Your voice is cracking, Samuel. It was cracking, and I couldn't understand the end of what you said, the conclusion.
I said that in a moment of my life, I used to to have, or I use it to be someone else, like an actor, a soccer player, and I was unhappy because I was not being myself. So the right thing is to be yourself, what you feel, what you like, what you think about life, and of course, in a polite way. But don't try to be anyone else because it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's it. That's a concept Brazilian people find difficult to really get, because we have this culture of pleasing others instead of ourselves. And we also, yeah, it's hard for Brazilian to get this concept, but I'm hopeful. I believe we'll get there. I believe we'll get there. Well, awesome this sharing. I really like this. Now we're gonna move to the text, because I really want to share this text with you, because we have here three different sides of education and how it affects society. So would you mind to read the first paragraph, Samuel?
The first paragraph. Education. In one hand, there is no doubt that education is an intellectual activity that leads to development. A country with no education people is subjected to ruin. The yearly budget allocated to education is low. Institutions are weak, laws are shallow, and from that, citizens commit many crimes against human beings every day. There is no leader there is no good governance at all, so that there are no good policies and no implementation of the policies already set, and the result is corruption, atrocities, and all this due to the lack of education.
So here, nothing new, right? So far, nothing new. That's the idea we have on how important education is for society, or for us too, now sometimes, well-being and everything bad that can help when there is a lack of education. And what actually happens in a lot of countries, we see this. It's not something we are just imagine. Ruben, could you please read the second paragraph?
On the other hand, the country with educated people bases its annual budget to education, has strong institutions, technology, social media, medicine, inventions. All of those aspects are social changes implemented from the basic of education inner cycle where the citizens feel connected to the globalized world.
So far, no news, right? Do you guys agree with the text so far?
Totally.
Totally great. Let's move then to the last paragraph. I'll read then. However, education not always brings good results. It has now become a tool to steal elections by hacking, to spread bad ideologies. The terrorism, genocides, and wars are mostly caused by high educated people. The demagogues that the world have had are born of the schools of high educational standards. In sum, education is good and necessary, but it also has its shortcomings. It can help on building society, but can also destroy one's community. Now it is something people are not talking all the time about education. What do you say, guys?
Well, I think that's a good example of that is what happening in Ukraine right now, right? So Vladimir Putin probably is very well educated. He has a lot of knowledge, formal knowledge, and he has provoked war in Ukraine. People, the government from Ukraine is probably high school level also, and they are in a war right now. So that's what the paragraph says at the end of the
Yeah,
text.
so no educated people has no power to start a war, but they are the ones who are there fighting the war. What do you say,
Very,
Ruben?
very sad.
I would like to see the presentation again because I am a reading type of person.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said that I would like to see the presentation because I am a reading type of person.
I still
Can
didn't
I-
understand.
What type of person are you? Repeat.
When I'm reading, when I see something and read it, it's much easier for me instead of listening to it.
Oh,
That
okay. I'm sorry. I went too fast. Let's go again. Slowly. Do you want to read yourself or do you want me to read again?
no, I just quick read. So, however, education not always. Yes, education. I totally agree about education. Not always bring good results. For example, nowadays the books they're given to the kids are not actually good. That's what I want to say.
Great. So do you agree that sometimes education may not be a good thing, right?
Many times.
Okay,
Many
so have you ever before, okay, before now, before this moment reading this text, and the question is for both of you, have you ever thought that education can cause damage?
totally.
Okay, go on, Rubens. Construct a thought here.
For example, I would like to say that when I was in the prime high school, and there was a subject who is talking about religious. Instead of talking about Jesus Christ, Virgin Mary, and etc., the book educated the teacher warned us to, and the book warned us to learn about the architecture of the churches, not about the religion.
Okay, but what's the point there? How does
They
that
are
is how does that mean damage?
they are not teaching the right thing.
Um, okay, okay. Well, what about you, Samuel? Do you have you before this reading this text, have you thought that education could cause damage? Are you worried about that? You know, when you're learning and teaching, are you
No,
worried?
I don't believe education can bring damage. I believe that uh, educated bad people can bring damage. You know, so it's not a question of education; it's a question of character. So if you are educated and you have a bad character, you can bring damage by or through your education level. So you have a lot of knowledge. You can cause great damage to people because of your education level. But it's not education itself that can bring damage. It's the people who has that education and a bad character who can bring damage to the society.
That's a really good point of view. Education is the tool that people use to make bad things, to
That's it.
do bad things. So if we have this saying that says, give someone power and you learn who they really are.
That's right. That's
Education is
true.
power. When you give it to someone who is
Yeah.
not good, who is not, um, it's not worth it. I would like to say merecedor. How do we say that, Samuel?
What?
Merecedor, someone who doesn't not or doesn't deserve, right?
Deceiver.
Deceiver, I don't know, but
I'm
as
not sure about
someone
that.
who do not deserve,
Yeah.
right, this, so they're gonna make caquinhas, bad things.
Yeah. You know, a pen is more powerful than sword.
A can,
A pen
a pen,
is more powerful than a sword.
completely. It was a pen who signed the the decision for the war that's going on right now in Ukraine. There are not swords there because it's
So that is
2022.
yeah.
There are guns
That,
there, but it was not the gun who signed the decision to start the war. It was the pen, right?
right. Actually, I had only 1 hour to be with you. I'm so sorry. I have a lot of things to do yet before the night comes. So I have to leave now,
Oh,
right?
what a
I'm
pity.
so sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I have to go to the outlets and meet my and encounter my stepdaughter to help her to bring the things she has bought today, and it's a lot of things, believe me.
That's okay. We had a great meeting. Don't you think, Ruben?
Of course we are, and I totally agree with Samuel when he said exactly not the point lost. I totally agree, that's all.
Okay, Samuel, before
And
you go, would you like
yeah,
just to talk a little bit about the work you do as an English teacher, the material you offer, how you work with
yeah,
what kind of students?
yes. I quit teaching since the pandemic started, right? I have some students online now. But since 2014 or something like this, I started preparing a material for English teachers. So how does it work? It's very simple. You have to grab people and form a group, right? And I have the material. You can purchase the material from me, and that's your only expense. That's your only investment. Everything you got, everything you want after that is for your own uh, gain, right? So you form a group, you purchase the material from me, and you start teaching people, and you don't own anything more for me. You don't own just the payment for the material. That's the way to help people to learn English and to help teachers to get a job and earn their own income, their own money. So that's exactly how it works. You form a group, you grab people, form a group, and buy the material and start teaching.
Very
Simple like this.
good.
It's a $3 course for 1 year and a half. It's material for high focused people and high focused teachers also, people who really like to teach English because it's a compilation of 7 books, like A1, like the European method. Do you know that? A1, B1,
Mhm.
C1. So it's a compilation of all of these books, the European language teaching methodology, and I made a compilation of these, studied all these methods and made a compilation. So the results are 3 books and for a 1 year and a half course. So someone who is interested, just call Feli or call me, and we can do that. We can arrange for you to have this.
Great. Thank you so
Ruben,
much.
yeah, Ruben, I would like to say that it was a pleasure meeting you. Really nice to meet you. I like to meet people from all around the world. And congratulations for your courage. We understood everything you said. You speak English very well, and you have to keep trying to improve more and more. Maybe one day you can visit the United States. I hope so. I am really glad for you. So it was a pleasure to be part of your life. Sorry, and I hope we can be together in another opportunity.
Of
It's
course.
not,
Go ahead, Ruben.
it's
Thank you
not
so
about
much.
me.
Bye.
Bye,
Sorry.
goodbye, thank you. No, I just want to say it's not about me if I'm good or what, but it's about school, life school. And life is a school. That's why I told these things. So it's an honor to be with you and chat with you. Thank you very much for participating to Parceiro the Conversação. And have a nice day or evening
Or night. I
or
don't know
night.
what time is it in Washington right now.
Orlando is 1 hour less than in Brazil. Like it's 5:21 here.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Samuel. Bye.
Thank
It
you
was
very
a
much.
pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Goodbye.
Ruben, don't go yet. Calm down. We are letting Samuel go because he has things to do. But you and me, we can use this. We can use the Samuel. You can go. You have another things to do.
Yeah.
You can go. Okay, you're free. I'll
Okay,
just
bye.
use Ruben's time a little bit more here. Ruben, as we're here, the two of us, don't you want to invite people for the second season of our podcast?
Yes, I would like to inform to everyone to, if someone wants to participate in us in our episode of new season, and I would like to announce that we are going to renew the first season, re-uploading the episodes, so it will be much better, much fun for the audience, for the students, which our podcast made it by love with a specialist teacher, Jolie Araujo, which means that's the best practice to uh, think English and practice your English. So stay tuned for the next second season of our podcast, everything you're interested in.
That's it. So you listen to Ruben. And if you don't exactly know what we're talking about here, we are talking about our podcast. We had our first season last year. All the videos are available here on the channel. If you want to check them, just look for the playlist, podcast, everything you're interested in. I am there with Ruben. And for this season, we're going to bring guests. So it's going to be even better. Okay? Be with me here on YouTube. Also follow me on Instagram at Teacher Sueli Araújo and follow Ruben because he is a web developer. What is your at, Ruben?
Sorry, what is my profession you said?
What's your at on Instagram?
Oh, my name, you mean? My name is Web Development Ruben.
It's at web development.
At Web Development Ruben. Web
Great.
developer.
Okay, so follow Ruben there. Thank you so much, Ruben. It's always great to have you here.
Me too. Good evening and bye bye.
Good night. Have a good rest.
Bye.